What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast with Gillan and Akram. For today's episode, we are giving our non-spoiler thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, now out in theaters. So no spoilers for this one, but Akram, let's start off with your thoughts.
Yeah, what an emotional movie, to say the least. It definitely feels like it has an impact not only on the MCU, but I'd say on just the Guardians in general, of course. This is the last film that James Gunn will be at the helm for. So it's a very important movie. And some of these characters we will not see again. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let's get your thoughts.
I thought it was beautiful. I think this is one of the best, if not the best, movies of phase, I believe, 4 are we in, or phase 5?
Yeah.
Whatever this phase is. I think it was like this and Wakanda Forever, I think, were the most emotionally impactful. There were a lot of dark moments in this movie. I'm not getting into spoilers, but man, it was just hard to watch sometimes. There, like, be warned, because I know there's a lot of, articles going around. There is a lot of like moments that have like animal cruelty. So if you guys are like sensitive to those kind of things, just be warned. Yeah, it has a lot of powerful imagery. So if you guys feel that you're gonna be triggered by it, I'm just giving you our fair warning. But it's used for the story very well. And this is really Rocket's story, I would say. But of course, all the Guardians are involved. And I think it came together really nicely, and it was a nice finisher for the Guardians franchise.
For sure, I agree. And I actually liked the High Evolutionary as a villain. Yeah. Let me get your thoughts on him.
Yeah, he was a perfect villain. I would say better than Thanos or Kang. Eagle was a good villain in the last movie. And it's funny because like he was kind of like Peter's villain. The High Evolutionary is definitely like Rocket's kind of like arch nemesis, and he has kind of like this god complex about him. And I always loved that actor. He was in a Peacemaker, and he always plays like very dark characters as well. So yeah, perfect villain for me.
Yeah, and what's so funny is we also see Cosmo make a return, because Cosmo was in, I believe, the holiday special. But we do get a lot of cameos that make an appearance in this movie. I thought that was really funny to see. It kind of reminded me of, we were talking not too long ago about the sequel trilogy, where it's something so big from Star Wars, and they bring everybody together just to, I guess, celebrate. And so this is how it kind of felt like that in this movie as well. There was like a lot of cameos. And I think it was done in a good way, as you expect from Guardians of the Galaxy anyways. How do you think this impacts the MCU without giving too much spoilers?
It's hard. Yeah. The thing about this phase, it's like everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Like, it's very isolated now. This feels almost like it could be like a standalone, honestly. There will be... I can't give too much away, but I think there is a future for the Guardians if they want to do it. It'll be different though. Without James Gunn, it'll probably feel like, I don't know, less filmic in a way. Maybe it'll be like more MCU in a way, if that makes sense. Because James Gunn just left so much of his style, and we didn't even talk about the music. The music in this movie was so good. I loved each song that they picked for this movie. But yeah, as far as the bigger picture, it seems like it's kind of done. But if they want to pursue a future, I think it's there. Yeah, I'm not sure to be honest. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think the better thing is that it's more of a standalone movie as opposed to just something that keeps contributing to the MCU. So this movie definitely felt like there's like a finality to everything. Just actors that we'll see again, the director, and that's what made it more impactful. It's really interesting. You don't see much of this because the MCU is so large now, and it's been around for so long that's another stake that's added. It's like, will we ever see these actors again or these directors in real life? So like the lines kind of go away, and that's what you come into it. You bring this thought and this feeling. Same way with like Wakanda Forever, what happened with Chadwick, and then you bring that into it, and the movie is kind of a little bit around that, or like there's like a feel to it. So this movie, I think for me, it's like one of my favorites from Phase 5 of the MCU. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are you thoughts?
Yeah, it's gonna be heartbreaking actually. Because without giving too much away, I feel like the Guardians now are kind of going on their own path. And it's sad because like I feel like we've built this family over, the Guardians franchise, the holiday special, and of course like the Avengers movies too. We just got to know these characters really well. I would love to do Revisited for these movies, honestly, because I feel like the first two Guardians were really strong. Guardians 2, if anybody doesn't know, that's one of my favorite MCU movies of all time. I remember we talked about it in our MCU discussion. But this movie was so powerful and it was so deep, and the jokes they all hit as you would expect it to. It's funny because these movies like tend to make you laugh and cry at the same time. It's a comedy and a tragedy at the same time. But yeah, perfect movie for me. Rating wise, I'd probably give this, 10 out of 10 for me. It was perfect.
Really? Yeah. I think I'll give it a 10 out of 10 too. It was a really impactful movie, I think, emotionally, and it means a lot. And I could tell it means a lot to the cast and crew as well. It's it is emotional. Like there was like this YouTube short that they put up and it says, "Bring a box of tissues." So yeah, I mean, take that as you will. Yeah, I would give that a 10 out of 10. And that is our review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Dylan, why don't you take us away?
Thank you guys for tuning in for this review. Check out our other Marvel movie reviews if you haven't. We're still covering a lot of content from the MCU. Secret Invasion is coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, until then, guys, thank you so much. Until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.